Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ames's Corner. How you all doing out there? So, we got the old 65 289 Mustang back here for its yearly checkup, now that it's the end of the season. But it is what it is, some of you guys, my old fans, might remember this car from putting that other carburetor, that cheap Chinese carburetor on it. That was just a fail right out of the box. I don't recommend them. I don't recommend them at all. But yeah, we got to get this thing out for a quick test drive. We'll go around the block in it, see how it drives, take some impressions of how it goes. Nice 289 car, original 289 car, and I believe this also has its original motor and tranny, but don't quote me on that. It's hard to tell sometimes. I've never really looked at the VIN numbers, and I probably won't go into that detail today, but this is a car that I believe the woman that owns this has owned this pretty much a long time. It was just sitting in her yard, rotting away. Then about a year and a half ago, they figured it was time to get it out of the cabbage, and they did an all right restoration. Not necessarily a frame off or anything, but they did everything the car needed, and it was done well enough for a daily driver. So yeah. Pretty car. Why don't I set you guys up on a camera mount on the windshield, and we'll take a drive and see what it's like to drive a pretty nice. Once you get up to speed, that rough running, it has a little bit of a skip to it, goes right away, which kind of lends me to believe it's probably got a vacuum leak somewhere, maybe an intake gasket or carburetor base gasket issue going on. We'll have to check that out. Gets up and goes all right. I mean, it's no race car or nothing, but for a car from the 60s, you know, early muscle car era, gets up and goes pretty well. Downshifts, that's something you always want to make sure. You want to make sure these old cars with a carburetor and a kickdown downshift. If they don't downshift correctly, that means they're not modulating their line pressure correctly. It's a good way to burn up a tranny, so. Kickdown's working all right. Car doesn't seem to be pulling anywhere, going straight down the road. That's the horn button making a little bit of noise. Not real rattly. I don't hear a lot of noises going on. Had to put on the brakes, the car was turning, but I could feel a little bit of dartiness on the brakes. That could be a loose component in the front suspension. It could also be, if this has drum brakes, misadjusted on one side, or I'm not sure. I don't remember if these had discs. We'll find out when we get it up on the lift. Alright, now we got a nice hard stop and hard right turn. Oh yeah. To dive a little. Other than the brake dive, it really drives really well. Just like every other classic car, just like the Sonnet or that electric clone kit car last week, everyone driving by is just craning their neck, giving me the thumbs up. Yeah. Thumbs up. That says it's got about 49,000 miles on it. I believe those are original miles, 49,000 original. like, I'd say these are the original seats for this car, and really nice shape. Other than some little issues here and there with the interior, little trim pieces missing here and there, it's really in good shape. I don't hear any driveline whines or noises or clunks. Something that sounds like a vacuum leak when I tip on the throttle. That would explain why this thing just does not like low RPMs. It's got some get up and go. No, I really didn't mean to get on it like that, but I'm just trying to keep it running. Got a guy on a bike behind me. I think he wants to talk to me. Grooving on the fumes, boys. He was grooving on the fumes. Seems like the hotter it gets, the better those brakes work. Maybe one side just grabs a little when they're cold. I think if I remember correctly, it's had an issue with the rear. It always kind of did that. And the more I drive it, the better it gets. Want to stall now. All right, nice driving car all in all. Once you get used to the mousy smell you got in here, I'm going to give him some air fresheners. I think I got a couple air fresheners lying around. We'll have to put in here for him. Alright guys, I'm going to just do a quick light check with the guys inside. We'll get this thing up on the lift and we'll see just how this car looks. I apologize about the noise. I got the fan going to kind of drown out the noise from the shop stereo because people are still working. So let's take a good look under the hood at this car and see if there's anything we need to take care of or any issues that the customer doesn't know about. They have no plate lights, no radio, and what other electrical gremlin? Check over, get lift, no gauges, no lights, no radio. So that's the actual complaint. But we won't really get into the electrical system of this car today. We'll just make sure it's mechanically and safe and sound, and the fluids are all where they need to be. So just like all of these cars from this era, you don't open the hood inside, you open it outside. And there it is, the 289 small block. My light, trusty flashlight. Now first thing I'm going to look for is any kind of fuel leaks. Make sure the fuel system's in good shape. Nothing's leaking anything anywhere or any kind of spotting. Make sure the coolant system, looking for anything jumping out at me and obvious issues. The battery and cables all good, everything looks good. Now you can see when I said it wasn't a frame off restoration, they just kind of made it look good. On a frame off, you would have taken this shock tower all apart and done all that different instead of just painting it all, but that's what the owner of the car wanted, that's what they got. Nice chrome valve covers. I think I put those on last year or the year before. Yeah. Unassisted brakes, no power steering, no power assist brakes. There's all that kick down mechanism we were talking about. We know that all works well, seem to be adjusted well. Noticing a little bit of smegma, a little bit of wetness on the base of the carburetor. I wonder if that gasket blew out or got sucked in. That doesn't look quite right under there. I don't know if you guys can see it under the air filter there. Yeah, everything's looking all right under here. Let's see what the oil looks like. Looks reasonably clean. A little overfill if full, if nothing else. Overfill is probably better than underfull in a car like this. So yeah, let's put this thing up in the air and see what's going on. You see, I grabbed in a couple of the air fresheners. Next thing I want to do is just give these wheels a quick. Looks like we got a little bit of play in something. No, I guess that's all right. Don't see anything flopping on me. Alright, fuel pump, fuel filter all looks good. Oil filter looks like got a little weep from that. Little crank seal leak, maybe a little something, a little anti-rust leak. Drum brakes, yeah, I would say, you see how that side moves nice and easy. This car wanted to dart to the left. So I'd say those left brakes are a little too tight in the front. You have to give a little adjustment to that. Sway bar links all look good. Shocks aren't leaking. The thing handled well, so I'm not really eyeing the suspension as much. And we got our usual rear main seal leak and tranny leaks. Kind of normal for this era of cars to have a few leaks here and there to keep the rust from happening. Parking brake looks alright, all the cables. That's an issue sometimes these cars have, these cables, if they get too loose, like to wrap around the drive shaft and pull things out. I'd say we definitely, I don't know if you guys can see it, we definitely got a loose U-joint. Looks like we got a bad cap up here. You know, if you look, you see this red rust dust. Anytime you see that, that's a good sign that something's going on. I'd say that U-joint's pretty loose. Well, I'd say that's why it's a little too loud. Looks like we'll be putting some exhaust work into this thing. That's got to be taken care of. This rear U-joint feels tight. Looks like this pinion seal's leaking a little. Look at this. Look at all this grease. Just looks like that's been leaking for some time. Wonder what that's all about. That loose bolt there. Rear brakes feel alright. Shocks look okay. Now this thing had some rot. There's some floors. They look like they just kind of screwed in. Kind of weird, but we knew about that before. It doesn't look like it's gotten any worse. Just that maybe some time for some flow masters or something under here. Shackles are okay. This is something you want to check on these cars up in these areas. Sometimes they can be pretty They get pretty nasty up here on the shackle mounts. This all looks good and solid. I don't see any broken springs, leafs. Looks like we got missing a keeper. And the leaf springs are kind of askew, but that's nothing to really worry about. Yeah, see this side. All right. So yeah, not a bad car. In really good shape. It's held up pretty well for the past few years. Yeah, it's held up pretty well. You see the fuel lines. This could probably be secured a little better. These fuel lines here. Is that a rear brake line? Fuel and brake lines. These probably need a little bit of love. Maybe when we get this exhaust down, we'll get up here. Yeah, I see this rubber fuel line right here is real ugly. Wow, that's real ugly. I'm glad I caught this fuel line. That thing's falling, that thing's ripping apart right in my hands. That's the fuel line. This is the outer sheath of the line just ripping apart. Well, I'm glad I caught that. I'm glad I caught that one. Here too, boys, here too. Look at that. That's no good. This thing needs a new fuel line. This thing needs a brand new fuel line. I think we're going to ditch this whole line and put a new fuel line in this thing. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of what I just saw back there, boys. You can see this driver's floor. They just kind of bolted it into the, screwed it in. It's like they did the same over here and just covered it. So I mean, it's not without its gremlins. It's not without its skeletons in its closet. But all in all, it's in excellent shape. I know a lot of baby boomers out there that'd be drooling over this thing, huh? All right, boys. That's about it. We got to get into some electrical issues tomorrow. We're going to replace that fuel line. I'm not going to worry about that little wet spot. Just worry more about these fuel lines. That's bad. That's bad. Make sure you guys have your fire extinguishers in your classic cars, because you never know. You never know. Alright guys, we get this Mustang pretty well looked at. Got a couple things I'm glad we found. That whole fuel line, that scares the crap out of me. You just never know. You can't expect rubber hoses to last 50, 60, 40 years. These old cars really need to be looked at every year by someone that really knows what they're doing with them, because you never know. That fuel line, if that leaked a lot of fuel out and caused a fire, I mean, even if you had a fire extinguisher in your car, a broken fuel line, you probably won't be able to put it out with anything you're going to carry. Well, anyways, boys, it's the end of the day. I'm going to get cleaned up and get out of here, and we'll have this thing back in here in the next few days to replace that fuel line, figure out the wiring gremlins with it, and get those brakes squared away. So until next time, guys. Till next time, keep it out of the cabbage.